Hello, dear friends. Wherever you are, whether you are self-isolating or um, shielded or working from home or homeschooling, whatever you're doing, it's a really great privilege to share a word with you this morning. And it is just one word, and it's taken from Luke chapter 22 and verse 19. And it's the part where Jesus is instituting communion, very familiar. Remember, he takes the bread as he begins the Passover Last Supper, and he says, "This is my body broken for you." And he goes on, "Do this in remembrance of me." And it's that little word "for" that God drew my attention to. This is my body given or broken for you. Now, the Greek word for is hooper, which usually means over, as in our hyperactive or hypersensitive. But here it means instead of or in place of. So it's not for in the sense of this is my body given as a gift for you, though that is true. It is this is my body given or broken instead of you being broken. In other words, instead of you dying, Jesus is dying. And this gives us a sense that's expressed in that old Graham Kendrick, or I don't mean old Graham Kendrick, I mean his old chorus, which he wrote and sang, Amazing Love. And the words I remember, amazing love, oh, what sacrifice, the Son of God given for me. My debt he pays, and my death he dies, that I might live. You see, we were on our way to eternal separation from God. That's what the Bible calls the second death, because the wages of sin is death. Until God died our death for us or in place of us, so that we might live eternally. Isn't that wonderful? And as I was studying this, example that came to mind immediately was that Charles Dickens novel, A Tale of Two Cities, where the French aristocrat Charles Darnay, he's in prison in Paris awaiting death by guillotine the next day. He has been tried and found guilty of crimes against the state. It was during the French Revolution, 1789 to 93, and nothing will save him. Now, a lawyer called Sidney Carton, who looks incidentally very like Darnay, visits his friend in prison, swaps clothes with him, and then takes his place in the cell, and then the next day under the guillotine for him. And he says words that most of you will have heard, "It is a far, far better thing that I do now than I have ever done, and it is a far, far better place that I go to now than I have ever been." So he dies for or in place of his friend, and Darnay goes free. You see the parallel, I'm sure. Jesus became like us, and if you like, has swapped places, swapped clothes with us, and died the death that we deserved and that we were heading for. Amazing love. Oh, what sacrifice. My debt he pays, and my death he dies, that I, the guilty one, may go free. This is my body, given for in place of you. Folks, Easter has not been cancelled. Thank you, Jesus.